Good morning and welcome to the Namaste experience. It is Tuesday, and we just began by sharing the Hindu prayer of peace. Oh God, lead us from the unreal to the real, darkness into light, death into immortality, into that state of deathlessness. That which has never been born can never truly die, right? That makes sense. But identifying as that which is born and as die, and that does die, identifying there is the beginning of a spiral into a confused state of consciousness that can only be spun out through the realization and the experience of I am that. I am that light. I am that holy expression of love and loveliness and devotion. The words fail. There are no words. When I go into this and begin to feel that spiraling, the words just begin to spiral. We're left with an experience. That's why we're here. To let that fire burn hotter and brighter so that we lift higher like a hot air balloon. When it gets filled with hot air, we begin to lift above this world of form and we begin to see from a whole new perspective. That's why we're here. So Vicki, good morning to you. I know you understand and are lifting above all of this as well.
So. Oh, yes, Brother James, Father James, because I've agreed to watch the Fight Club with him. So he knows I've lifted above it all.
Something very bizarre has happened. I feel like I'm still asleep and dreaming. When Vicki comes to me in the morning and says, I'm going to agree to watch the Fight Club with you. Like, I don't think I can do that to you.
Oh, it'll be fun.
As much as I love that movie, I think it may be too much for our dear Victoria. So we did come up with a compromise, and that is for her to watch The Matrix. I figured watching The Matrix would be still a very powerful, somewhat violent experience, but not nearly as much as the Fight Club might be.
Well, he said he'd watch Fred and Ginger after that. So
yeah, we'll watch a Fred Astaire movie. That's my agreement.
Well, I just have to say something to start off. So you see the beautiful mural behind us? You're going to like this. So the mural, there's a beautiful team, and it is a sacred team. No one can do this without their holiness shining through. That's what we see. That are about to start another mural on another wall here. And I woke up thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I feel like I'm Mary Poppins in what's the movie? Mary Poppins walking through the picture. You know, when she walks through the sidewalk into the chalk painting, I feel like, oh my God, we jumped into the chalk painting and then here we are. And then here everyone is. I just woke up with so much excitement and like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. Thank you all, because I always feel that way going on Zoom, you know, seeing everybody there. But, you know, then it's always the Zoom, all the Zoom families, we're just us in this little box or something in front of us. But to have everyone coming in and physically just appearing before you, the bell rings and all, it's like all these brothers from every tradition. It's like it can feel like every tradition, some in robes, some in skirts, some in this, some in that. Every tradition of holiness coming to one altar of our own holiness. So thank you for that.
I forgot to give you your mic.
Okay.
Here you go.
Do I need it? They seem to hear me.
Yes. Wow. Words fail, don't they? It just gets to the point where that wordless experience, I can't even describe it. So
Rooster just crowed when you said wordless was perfect.
When the rooster crows, that's when you know. So today's lesson from A Course in Miracles, it's a review lesson, two lessons. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. This is going to lead to something else that I'm going to read. Let me just read a little bit of this. How holy am I, who have been given the function of lighting up the world, who have been given the function of lighting up the whole world. Let me be still before my holiness. Let me be still before my holiness. In its calm light, let all my conflicts disappear. In its peace, let me remember who I am. And then the next part, forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. That's a big statement, because if I'm the light of the world, then I am the source of that. It is the I am presence within us that is the source of all of that. And forgiveness is the way that we recognize and activate. It is through accepting my function that I will see the light in me. And in this light will my function stand clear and perfectly unambiguous before my sight. My acceptance does not depend upon my recognizing what my function is, for I do not yet understand forgiveness. Yet I will trust that in the light I will see it as it is. So I am the light of the world, and forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. And that being said, I've been reading a lot of Sri Nisargadatta. I don't know how many of you know this amazing holy teacher. He's best known for his book, I Am That. And as you know, I'm slightly partial to that sacred name of God. In fact, it was funny because on Sunday, I did the sermon at the Anglican Church. And in preparing for the sermon, I had read the gospel and the epistle reading, but I didn't read the Old Testament reading that came before them both. And it wasn't until the reader was up on the altar reading that I realized it was this story. It was the story of that sacred name of God being given to us to create this intimate union, communion of awakening. I am that, the name of God that was given to Moses at the burning bush. Something that I wrote a whole book about, the Moses Code. And it began this journey into a deeper experience of the intimacy with God. And so this morning, as I was reading Sri Nisargadatta, something jumped out that I just had to share. It's very, very short, but I think it sets the stage for a deeper experience within this. He says, our sense of being is without a body. The true sense of who we are, our being, is without a body. It is called Brahman, or God. Without your knowledge, without you even knowing, the chant of I am Brahman, or we could say I am that chant goes on within you, is constantly spinning within you, within the truth of your being. I am that, like a mantra. And it is ours but to hear and then to awaken. Because even though it's going on within us, if we have closed our eyes, if we've locked it out, then we can neither know nor experience that reality which is always real. The reality which is always real. He goes on to say, one who recognizes their true identity as Brahman is worshipped by spiritual aspirants. All he's really saying there is that when this awakens within you, when this fire begins to burn so bright within you, people will come because they recognize it as the same flame that's beginning to burn within them. When people, all of us here at Namaste have felt just being drawn to Victoria because that light just burns within her and that fire is so bright within her, people just want to be near her. And the same thing is true for each one of you. Let that fire build, let it burn. You'll be amazed at the people who just want to be near you. Not, he says worship. To me, worship is inappropriate to a brother or to a sister. Worshiping a brother or sister is an inappropriate use of the learning process. Rather joining, rather being present. I know in my own life, I have simply found that I am much more valuable if I'm on the same level rather than being on a pedestal. If we're together, if we see eye to eye, I can be more valuable. as opposed to someone who likes to be about, now I might be, what are we, about 9 inches above here, but that's just so you can see me. Other than that, it's inappropriate to worship a brother or a sister, but to join with them, to be one with them, and that desire to want to be and to be drawn to those whose fire is burning. So one more bit here from Sri Nisargadatta. That Brahman or God is your true form. This identity has no death. You have fear of death because of your body identity. You're afraid of dying because you've misidentified. You think this is who I am. This is going to die. But this has nothing to do with who you are. It's not an aspect of who you are. It's either totally who you are or totally not who you are. You're either totally, you either realize that you are your car or you're not. You may love your car. There's even a Queen song called that, I Love My Car. But you are not your car. And if you confuse the two, you'll never leave your car. You'll sit in your car and it won't be very fun. And then when it's time to leave your car, you'll feel like you have died. This is your car, this is your vehicle, but it's not who you are. Once again, that Brahman or God is your true form. This identity has no death. The truth within you was neither born nor can die. You have fear of death because of your body identity. But if you develop your faith, as you are told now, in that experience, you will never experience death because you will know who you are. The truth will be radiating from you. Then you will find no need to ask anybody regarding spiritual matters. Instead, people will visit you in quest of the truth. In other words, when you're in love, none of the details matter. You're not going to have to explain everything. You're not going to have all the right arguments and all the right description. Just let that fire of your love and devotion burn. Let that be the guide. And people will come to you. They'll be drawn to you because they recognize it as their own. I always point to you because you're just the best example of it. People are drawn to you because they recognize it as their own. Same thing with Johannes and so many of you. People are drawn because they recognize that fire, that love, that light. And we're drawn to it.
Absolutely. And this is one of the best demonstrations of brothers from far and away being drawn to the light of a joined brotherhood here. Because as far as I know, there's never been any promotion of Namaste anywhere that I've ever seen. It's been word of mouth, it's been the Zooms, it's been here and there, but there's never been any exerted effort into any promotion, thank God. Because when we live by grace and by the fire, all the fire wants to do is just burn and make the way clear. The other thing I was thinking, today's lesson is I am the light of the world, and forgiveness is my function, which is perfect that they're together. Because forgiveness is the way that we are the light of the world. And all forgiveness means, it's what you were saying, is we pay attention to the fire in ourselves and each other, and we don't pay attention to anything else. So, and the two big words for me are let. One is let, and the other is accept. Like, let God love us. Let us love one another. Who cares what you think, what you believe, what you're upset about or not? I love you. I love you. And love just fills us up. I haven't been this truly happy in a long time. Like buoyantly, joyfully happy. Like I'm in this big festival of light here. And then the other piece of thank you all for your love on Zoom, in this room, that we give to one another. And thank you for inspiring that love, Father James.
Vicki has promised me she's not going to call me Jimmy anymore.
No more, James. From now on. He's grown up. And
hit 60 finally.
Yeah, he's grown
Now that
up.
I'm 60, yeah.
And now he grew up and he's older than me. He used to be years and years younger than me. Now he's my big brother. But the other word is accept. When we accept the light in us and the light in each other, well, what else is there to do except play, right? And to join together and to enjoy each other's company. Accepting that is what forgiveness is for me. Like, so what? I'm upset, you're upset, they're upset. It doesn't make any sense to pay attention to those details when there's a blazing light of glory filling us and we can witness to it in each other. So accepting, I am the light of the world. Of course I am. I'm here to shine and sparkle. I'm just here to love. That's all of us. All of us are only here to love. It doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. If we can accept, I am here to shine and to love and to bless and to enjoy this radiance, then that's it. Then there's one more thing I have to say, then I'll stop. Seeing the different brothers come here in this room, with the painters coming to paint the wall, and then a whole team of helpers bringing scaffolding in, it reminded me, now here we are, brothers together celebrating the light of the world, that we are, and we recognize everyone else. In the background, the Holy Spirit is preparing a whole new world for us to witness to. So today we see a blank wall, or today we may see a torn world or countries fighting or whatever it is. But if we hold to the light that we are and to the light that we recognize in one another, a whole new world, just as a whole new mural is going to cover that empty wall, is being birthed through our standing still and letting God love us, and then simply loving one another, accepting that we are that light, the same as our Creator, and that everyone is that. That's as simple as it is. So I can't wait to see the manifestation, and this being in time one of the central places of love being activated, when two or more brothers, and when 30, 40, 50 more brothers come together to accept, let, and activate the light of consciousness that we are, it does explode through the whole sonship, in and out of time. And this wall is one witness to it, as we simply rest in the peace and the light and enjoy it, that the Holy Spirit does the work. And the underpinnings of fear are taken away, and the emergence of love and brotherhood is coming forth.
Thank you.
That's my prophetic statement for the day.
Do you see how time and space just lose their meaning and are irrelevant in this feeling and experience of love? Time and space just lose their meaning. It reminds me of an old Abbott and Costello routine. When Lou falls in love with a woman who is 10 years older than him, and he's really concerned, and so he expresses this to Bud Abbott. And Abbott says to him, okay, think of it this way. When you were 10 and she was 20, she was double your age, right? He said, yeah. He said, but when you were 20 and she was 30, now you were 2/3 her age, right? Yeah, that's true. And when she's 40 and you're 30, you're 3/4 her age. Is that, you see? He said, and Lou says, yeah, pretty soon I'm going to be older than her. It's all relative. It means nothing. And that's why when you mention that this is a place, and I don't mean only the physical place of Namaste Village, because this vortex we have created includes everyone who joins with us on Zoom, anywhere in the world, and it just expands out. But this place, it is that holy spot where the irrelevance of time and space begins to take root. And love becomes the only fiery reality. And that is why people, especially now, are just flooding in. And Azuri and I have a really hard time keeping up with all the emails of people who want to come and visit and live here. And gosh, if I had more money, I'd buy another place because we'd fill it. Jack, maybe you can help with that. Because, because it's, and we don't have to advertise. It's the fire that does the work. People feel it. They hear about Namaste Village, and because this is real, because this is reality, because the fire is burning within each one of us, it sparks them. Oh, I want to go there. I want to check that place out. That's what's happening here. So those of you who are here and those of you who are here, thank you. Thank you for letting all the details, all the mind stuff, all of the need to understand, let all that go. Just be in love with one another. Just let that reality burn inside you. Any final words, Vic?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Really, thank you, really, to all our brothers on the Zoom. It's been a blessed experience of extended family of light, all of us in this room, on Zoom. It's been a joining that passes the ego's understanding, for sure.
So I'm feeling called to guide, or I'm feeling called to call on Alice this morning as well, who is holding down this beautiful frequency in Europe. Just another example of all of you all around the world. We've got people like Marianne, who's doing her beautiful class on Zoom later. So all of you are doing something. A called Dev, I see she's doing her dances of universal peace and sharing. Each and every single one of us is lighting that fire and just putting it out there. And people are coming because the radiance is without measure. So, Alice, we would love to hear what you're feeling right now.
I'm feeling love. There's nothing else to say, really, but I will say something else. I loved yesterday when people were saying their 3 words. That was wonderful. And so many people said, I love you. On Sunday, on your birthday, on the 20th, I was invited to go to a ceremony. There were 20 people, and it was in a medicine wheel. And it was a Mayan ceremony. It was very powerful. And the love in that circle, in that medicine wheel, was just, people were almost leaning on each other with the power. And then above us, an eagle started to go round and round and round. So it was wonderful. And I was thinking to myself, like you were mentioning yesterday, with all the different traditions of loving God in one way or another with different words, I was thinking to myself when I was in that circle, from the beginning of time, human beings have known their connection. It doesn't matter what tradition we are. The connection will come because of love. And there was so much love with all of us. We honored each other with greeting our eyes and honoring the coming of spring. And then we ate together. And I thought, okay, this is a little bit different than what we talk about as the Christ within us. But it is that without saying it's that. And we were talking about the Mayan tradition because the person that was doing the ceremony has spent a great deal of time with the Mayans. Now, I want to just mention one thing. Years ago, before 2012, and remember the build up to that, what's going to happen in 2012. These friends of ours that we went to on Sunday, they brought over the Mayan main elder, and his name is Don Alejandro, or Wandering Wolf. And he gave a talk, which I'll never forget, to us all. And somebody asked him then, how do we prepare for 2012? Like we all wondered that at the time. And he looked at us all in silence and met all of our eyes. And there must have been many people there, a good 50 or more. And then he quietly said, in his beautiful heart place, he said, love God. And then there was silence. How do we prepare for anything? The coming of this new love dispensation that we're all helping birth right now. We love God. So I just wanted to share that because it was very touching on Sunday. And I thought I brought you in my mind, Father James, into that circle because I knew it was your birthday. And it was lovely. So we love God, no matter what.
Thank you, Alice. We love God through and as each other. That's the intimacy that we have come to know, that it is in each and every one of us. And as we bless each and every single one of us, it gets brighter and hotter and just takes over everything. It's so beautiful. All the details, all the questions, the need to figure it out disappears. Isn't that a good feeling? You don't need to figure it out because it figured you out a long time ago. You just have to let that be true. So let's just go out in love today. And as a way of allowing that blessing to go even deeper, I've chosen a song and a prayer to end our session today. It's the prayer that St. Francis used to share with his brothers whenever he would go on a journey. And he also, when he was getting ready to leave his body, he wrote this down on a piece of parchment and he gave it to his brother Leo. And they still have this in Assisi, but this is the blessing. So I want to share this blessing with all of you as we just fall back and let the details go, stop trying to figure it out, and just choose to love one another. So this is the blessing. We'll end with this. So let's go out and shine and love, radiate, and be at peace. Namaste, everyone. We'll see you later.
I love you. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Love you all.
Bye for now.
Happy